welcome to my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe my channel so you can stay updated whenever I do post new content. I know I am terribly inconsistent, but bear with me. So a lot has happened since our last video. Oh, and I was so rude. Also, introduce to you Ava, my puppy. She decided to pop into the video today. But anywho, like I said, a lot has happened since my last video. For one, I celebrated a birthday, so happy 29th birthday to me. I've also celebrated 1 year of travel nursing, which I plan to maybe make a video, just kind of like an overview of my assignments or experiences to kind of celebrate 1 year. And last but not least, which is the reason for this video, I purchased the condo. So very exciting things have happened since my last video. So I basically came today to kind of share my home buying experiences and hopefully share some tips that will help other travel nurses and just other people in general who are looking to buy a home be more successful in it and probably go through a little less stress than I did in the process. So what's funny is I actually had tried this process way back when I was still a staff nurse. It didn't quite work out for me budget wise, and like I found it, actually did find a condo I liked back then, but I think there were some issues with the type of loan I had, and also I just didn't get qualified for a lot, so that really limited my options. So let's just talk about home buying and what to do to prepare in the first place. So the first thing, which you'll see me look at my notes, I want to make sure I don't leave anything out. So first things first, let's start with your credit report. That's of course an overview of all your accounts, loans, your finances in an overview. And this is what lenders look at to see if you're worthy or, if you're a financially enough stable person to give a loan to. So the thing with credit reports, for one, they take a while to update. A lot of credit companies only report like once a month. So there's a kind of a lag between what the actual picture is and your credit report. So for one, look on there and make sure all your accounts are accurate. Make sure there isn't anything that looks suspicious. Make sure you don't have any like derogatory remarks, no collections, things like that. And if you do see anything, see about disputing it if it's something suspicious. So as far as credit scores, I would recommend at least a 650 to kind of give you a safe zone. Like you gotta pick a struggle when it comes to this home buying stuff. Like, are you gonna have a bad credit score? You're gonna have a lot of debt. Like, you can't have it all. Like, you gotta pick a struggle. So, can you get approved for a loan with less than that? Yes. Will it be more difficult? Could you end up with higher down payments, higher interest? Yes. So, I think to put you in a safe spot, aim for at least a 650. So ways to improve your credit score. For one thing that they look at is the age of your credit accounts. Now, one thing I will say, the home buying process is not the time to open any new accounts. So if you don't already got it, leave it alone. And if you need some more stuff on your report, then maybe this isn't the time. So don't open new accounts. You want to have old, stable accounts showing that you are able to pay debt. So that's what they're looking for. Also, if you do have credit cards, what is the balance on it? The goal is to keep it 30% or below. I increased my credit score greatly by simply paying down a credit card. Like, literally jumped up 15 points just because I was like almost maxed out, and when I got down below that 30%, it did wonders for me. Me personally, I didn't have much negative things besides high balances. I had some late payments from years ago on a car note, which even though it is paid off now, it still shows up on the report, unfortunately. So I think the biggest hits are high balances and late payments. So try to avoid those. So another thing to take into account are your student loans. I think we all have them at this point. Most of ours are in deferment right now due to COVID, or maybe other reasons. So with that being said, when loan companies factor in your student loans, which most do, I haven't found one that hasn't. I think people know ways to get around that. I don't have any information on that personally, but the best thing to do when it comes to that, because what they'll do, they'll factor in a certain percentage of them and just take that set amount and be like, this is what you're paying, and it's weird. Your best bet is to contact your loan company, and you don't have to start payments, but set up the lowest payment plan possible and turn that documentation into the loan officer to show that, hey, my payment is only $50 a month. So even though I have this amount of debt, instead of factoring, like, they may do like a random number like 20%. So that can make a big difference if you have like 100,000 in debt and they're factoring in 20%, and it just jacks up your numbers. So also, like, when you're getting ready for this process, I suggest collecting certain documents in advance, so that way when you find what banks you want to apply for, what loans, you just can send this stuff out. So I will create a file on your computer. You want your tax returns from the past 2 years. You want pay stubs from the past 30 to 60 days. You also want to have your account statements from the past 30 to 60 days. Any accounts that you're going to put in your application, have those statements ready. Also, if you have made any large purchases, when they start analyzing your accounts and, factoring in whether you're a good candidate or not, they may question you about that. For example, I had paid, like I said, while I was working on paying down my credit card balance, I put a large lump sum of money towards my credit card, and it sent up a red flag. They're like, what's this? What you doing? And so I had to just show, like, oh, this is the receipt, I paid off this credit card, and this is the new balance, etc. Another thing too, if you have paid off an account recently and it's not reflecting on your credit report, send in that documentation as well. Like, hey, this is on my credit report, but this account has a zero balance now. Those things are very important. And once again, this is not the time to open up new accounts. It's not the time to buy a car. Focus on one or the other. Like I said, this is a whole process of picking your struggle. So either you're going to buy this house or you're going to buy this car. If you're going to do both, you better have some money. So what also this process comes down to is money talks. If you're willing to, like, fork out some cash, there's a lot of probably hoops and stuff that you can get across. But if you are trying to go the regular route of, you want down payment assistance, you're trying to do first time home buyer program or anything like that, you're going to have to play their game. So another thing too, specifically for travel nurses, but job stability is a problem for us, not in reality, but on paperwork. So on paperwork, we look like we job hopping. Especially if you go with multiple companies, or if you take long breaks between assignments, like, it just looks bad on paper. So my recommendation, if you know that within the next year or so you're planning to buy a house, be consistent in your assignments. You want to show them that I'm always working. Now, in reality, we know that travel nurses can always get a job, but that's just not how they look at it, unfortunately. Them underwriters, they're scrutinizing, they're looking for issues, and that's one of them. So I was told by many banks that you need at least 2 years of travel nursing experience to show that you have consistent income. I was able to get around that, and after only a little bit under a year of travel nursing, I did get approved. But one thing I think that helped me was the fact that I stuck with the same company the whole year. And like I said, not many of us do that due to the fact that we're going where the money resides, which I don't blame you. There's nothing wrong with that. But it does make it harder for them to, I guess, verify income and get a picture of the type of money you're making and how consistent your job is. And people who aren't travel nurses in general, like, this isn't the time to change jobs. Like, if you are consistently employed and you're considering on buying property, this isn't the time to get mad at your boss and put that 2 weeks notice in, because that will reverse your whole process. So those are things to think about, because like I said, at the end of the day, you want to show that you are stable and that they can trust you with this money and that you are going to keep up with payments. So like I said, don't during this time, no large purchases, no new accounts, and do not change jobs. So next, looking for a loan or a bank that fits you. I suggest shopping around and talking to loan officers before you actually start applying. Now, the beautiful thing about mortgage shopping is that once you start that first inquiry, you have 45 days to shop around without it negatively affecting your credit report. But before you even do that, I would have like at least 5 banks or so lined up that you know you're going to apply to. Like, this isn't the time to physically shop around. Like, you should kind of already have stuff lined up. And also at this time, you can start looking at properties because like it's boom, boom, boom. Once you get pre-qualified, you can start putting offers in. And if the market is still like it was when I was looking, it is a seller's market and houses are selling like hotcakes. You can literally blink and there's an offer in it. So there was a house that went on the market less than 24 hours. They had multiple offers. Within only 1 day of having open house, they shut down offers. And I mean, literally that night considered who they were going to do. And I mean, people are overpaying. People are doing whatever it takes to get the house they want. So just keep that in mind. So how to find the perfect bank? It's hard. I ain't gonna lie. And I just kind of asked around, talked to different people. My thing that I was looking for, I'm a healthcare provider and I know that there had to be benefits out there for me. So I did find a first responder program, which definitely I feel like helped out as well. When you're a travel nurse or in the health industry in general, I think it helps to find banks with those type of loan programs because they're most likely to have worked with our people in our field, especially with travel nurses. So I would be a friend and ask, have you worked with a travel nurse before? How do you feel about it? Because a lot of loan officers don't feel comfortable with the process. I had one, he said, I'm not going to lie to you. I tried this before. It didn't work out due to various reasons. And she ended up with this high down payment. And you know, you got to think about they're in this with you, the loan officer, and it negatively affects them and makes them look bad when the deal doesn't deal. When the deal doesn't go how it's supposed to go. So a lot of them are very cautious. They have the right to refuse to put your application through or even try. So shop around, talk to different people, let them know your situation, what you're trying to do. And like I said, money talks. The more money you're willing to pay, the more likely you are to kind of get around some of these barriers or loopholes that I might have experienced. But like I said, I went for a first responder program. It was through Bank of Iberia. It came with a grant that went towards down payment and closing costs, which was a blessing. The amount that I thought I was going to have to put down out of my own pocket significantly was reduced due to that. So the way my stuff worked out, I put down like a very minimum down payment out of my pocket. Like I said, the rest of it was covered by the grant. And I put more on top of that to basically seal the deal and just to keep from different complications, because there's certain things that go into when you're buying a condo versus a freestanding house. When you're dealing with the HOA and different rules that apply to condos and things of that nature, it gets real complicated. But long story short, paying more just solidified and kept the deal without me having to get more paperwork from the condo association. So shop around, talk to different people, and like I said, apply to multiple people. You should have multiple pre-approvals, multiple loan officers if possible, because when I tell you this process is a headache, it does not go smooth. There's going to be a problem. I think it took about a 3-month period for my stuff to like close. Like, I got my loan approval, cool. I found a place I like, cool. I put an offer in, they accepted it. So me and the seller, we on one page. But then it got to the loan side, underwriters, picking apart everything. Every time I looked up, they want documentation this, documentation that. I feel like I already sent this. I had to do a first-time home buyer program, send that certificate in. Like, it was always something. And then when it came down to closing, I tried to close before I left for my next assignment. But at that point, you're on their time. It's not about you. It's whenever they're ready. So I literally had to fly home on one of my off days, and I worked night shift. So I got off work that morning, got on a plane, flew home, signed for my house that evening, flew back did I fly back the next morning or that night? I flew back the next morning and had to work that night. It was crazy, but it got done. So my main thing is be flexible in this process and have patience, and make sure you have a realtor and a loan officer that you're comfortable with, that understands your situation and is willing to be patient and work with you and educate you, and also of course educate yourself. Like I said, I was up under posts, I was reading stuff, I was googling, I was asking people questions. And at this point, I am now a resource as well. So if you have questions, let me know. You can always reach out, comment, etc. So thanks for watching. I have bonus footage of my condo. I'm going to do a little condo tour. I'm going to add that to the end of this. So keep watching if you would like to see the inside of the condo I purchased. So thanks again. Like I said, like and subscribe. See you next time.
Hey y'all, welcome to my condo. This is the kitchen. I plan to update the cabinets, countertops, and the backsplash. Also get a new stove and probably change the lighting. We're going around the corner to the dining room area. I love that window, but I want to probably open up that bar area more, like maybe expand it up so you can actually kind of sit in it. We're moving over into the living room. I may update the fireplace or like paint it. Then this is like the little balcony area. I think just some updated paint out here would be fine. Maybe even change the floors. I'll decide once I actually move in. This is my favorite part of the house. These big windows letting in natural light. The living room is pretty big and spacious. It's not much I would do in there. Probably update the ceiling fan or something. I think a lot of the lighting here was like older. So this is the master bedroom. Another thing too, for some reason they painted all the what's it called, things blue. Oh, I don't like that. All right, so master bathroom. Definitely want to update this lighting, countertops and and cabinets as well. The tub was fine. Closet looks good. I love a good walk-in closet. Baseboards, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, the baseboards, trim, everything is blue. And I'm like, why? Ignore my friends. They're just, observing. This is a better angle of the living room. I recorded terribly. So walking into the guest room, it is smaller than I expected. I don't know, like I kind of did my tour through video, so, but it's just the guest room. So this is the guest bathroom. Update countertops and cabinets. Everything else looks pretty good. So